Hello there, channel members, friends, and followers from around the world. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for tonight's show. And today we are flying yet again the Flight Factor 767-400ER service from Hamad International to Dubai International Airport. The aircraft has received several updates over the past few weeks, and I thought that it's warranted that we take another look at this aircraft, which I happen to like quite a bit. And we are also today going to be arriving into a new rendition of Dubai International Airport by TaiModels. I want to welcome all of you to this live stream. Matthew, welcome aboard. AbGeek, Jahir, Badger, welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you for being a member of the Q8 Pilot channel. And the same goes to you, Ryan and Fred. Welcome aboard, guys, and thanks for being here this evening. Fred and Ann Froster, welcome aboard, and good evening. We have you with us today from Thailand. Appreciate it very much, my friend. And we have with us today also Stan. Stan, greetings to you, my friend. Thank you very much for your congrats, and I really appreciate all the support that you've been given to the channel and being a loyal member here at the Q8 Pilot channel. Thank you very much, sir, for your support. Ja Bangofed, hello, my friend from Massachusetts. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us, and thank you for your loyalty and continued support. I appreciate it very much. Claudio's Digitals, hello and welcome. Care, welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you for your support. And Glenn, thank you very much again for your support, being a member at the channel. Benny, welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you very much for the congrats. And we have George July. Greetings to you, my friend. High Speed Cruise, welcome aboard. Remy Jensen, welcome aboard, everyone. And glad to have you all with me in this live stream. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be loading up. We're going to be taking off runway 16 left, climb and maintain 27,000 feet. And then we are going to be doing an approach at Dubai International. It's early morning hours here in Qatar, and let's get things started. Elaine, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us, and thank you everyone for being here this evening. So let's hop into the cockpit. As you can see, things are a bit dark. Now, a lot of the things that were, a lot of the issues that were with the aircraft, of course, this aircraft is still in beta, by the way, but a lot of the issues were resolved over the past couple of updates or so. This is version 1.5.5. So we're going to bring up the electronic flight bag. And we're going to begin by going to the airplane. We're going to open the left forward door. Let's see here, after forward, and then we can go to the ground. Stairs, LSU, fuel truck, GPU, it's all right, we don't need it. And we're gonna bring up the AVI tab, go to our flight plan. Let's go to, no, that's, let's see, where do we want to go? We want to go to the xplane folder, and then we want to go to the operational flight plan. Where is my folder? For some reason, I can't see. Ah, there we go. Let's go back up. And let's see, where is the folder? Go back up. And should be somewhere here. There we go. And there's our plan. Perfect. All right, we're going to go straight to the load and balance area. And let's see here, go next. There we go. All right, so passengers, I don't think the aircraft can take 295, although I have specified the correct aircraft type in SimBrief, but it doesn't seem to. Kenny Myers, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. And we have Is it Joe from Brazil? Welcome aboard. Neil, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. And we have also Phil Tandy. Welcome aboard. Welcome. All right. So, passengers 295. I don't think it takes 295. So if I put 295, it changes this to 277. So that's like that's the maximum number of passengers we can take aboard the aircraft. So we're going to leave it at 250. And then for the cargo, 16.2, that's 16,200 pounds of cargo. And finally, the fuel, 25.1. We're going to just leave it at 30. That's perfectly okay. We're going to optimize the center of gravity, and everything looks good. We're going to say load, and now the aircraft is loading. All right, perfect. We are going to leave this down here for a minute, and we're going to head over to the overhead panel. And our first thing is the battery. Battery is on, and standby power to auto. APU gen is on. Bus ties are on. Utility buses are both on. And now we're going to turn on the APU. As you can see, the aircraft is now loading the fuel, and all is looking good. We're going to arm the emergency light. Guys, 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. There was a call from work, and I had to take it. So apologies for that. We are back, and all is good. WSN, welcome aboard, my friend. Scenery of Doha is available to you through chat command !DEP. You should get it there. And now we have the APU running. So we're going to continue with the setup, but first let's bring up some lights into the cockpit. Let's see right here, and we're going to come down here as well, and let's see here, panel and floodlights there. That's much better. Now we can see what we're doing, and all is good here. We're going to head over here, and we're going to leave the engine selectors on auto. We're going to go ahead and turn on our fuel pumps, and everything looks good here. Position lights are turned on, and window heat can be turned on as well. We're going to set the non-smoking sign and seatbelt signs. We're going to set the pressurization to auto, and everything's looking good here. We're going to come to the panel here, air conditioning panel. We're going to set all of these to auto. Auto is set, and trim air, recirc fans are on. We're going to set this to auto again, and the packs can go to auto. Isolation valves are on, and all three of them. All right, and APU is on. And now we can hear the APU starting, supplying conditioned air to the cabin. Rand Cooley, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Welcome. All right, so everything is looking good here, and now we can start programming the FMC. Cancel the master caution. We're going to set our altitude today to our final cruise altitude of 27,000 feet. So let's go ahead and set that. I love how it just the dials jump, the numbers jump there. All right, and we're going to turn on the flight directors as well. All right, so let's come to the MCDU or the FMC. We're going to go to position. Did we set the ADIRS yet? I don't think we did. So let's set the ADIRS to nav mode. Right, set. And now we can go to position in it. We are at Oscar Tango Hotel, which is New Doha or Hamad International Airport in the state of Qatar. And we're going to select the GPS position, set it here, and we're good there. We're going to go to the route, the origin airport, and the destination is Oscar Mike Delta Bravo or Dubai International Airport. We are today Qatar Airways 446, and we're good there. Let's go to the departure, and we're going to go to our flight plan here. Let's go to the next page. All right, so the departure is runway 16 left through the Alsam 1 Mike departure. So we're going to go select our departure, and it is 16 left, which is this one here, through the Alsam 1 Mike, which is the first one here. And we're going to select route, activate, and execute that. Next, we're going to go to the next page, and we're going to select the Alsam transition is the transition out of our SID from Qatar. Then we're going to take Lima 305, Lima 305. We're going to exit this airway at Edbul. Edbul is selected and entered. Then it's Mike 677. Mike 677. And then it's the VOTIP transition. And then it is arrival into, this is the transition into our star, which is the VOTIP 3 Bravo, runway 12 right at Dubai International. We're going to select execute, go to departure and arrival. We're going to go to the arrival page. We are going to select 12 right, ILS 12 right. And let's see, do we have a transition? We will double check that in a minute here. We're going to go to our flight plan. We'll go to the next page. And it looks like it is the RERIC transition. So we're going to select that. And then we're going to select the VOTIP 3 Bravo. VOTIP 3 Bravo is our star into Dubai International. And then we're going to go back to the route. Let's go to the legs page, make sure there are no discontinuities. It looks like there is one. We're going to clear it here, and then the next page, and all is looking good. Perfect. We're going to go back to the beginning of our flight plan, and we need this information here. So let's bring this up here. And now we can go to the performance initialization. Gross weight 327.7. Fuel is already set. The reserves today we can get from our Avi tab by adding the alternate and the final reserves together. 6.2 with 4.5, that's 5, and 6, that's 11. So we're going to say 11.2 for the reserve fuel. Cruise altitude today is 270, and the cost index is 220. So we said the cruise wind is 110.09er, 110.09er, and that is now set and execute. Thrust limit, we're gonna do takeoff, we're gonna just do toga, and we're gonna go to the takeoff, do flaps 5 for departure, select the center of gravity. Trim today is set to 3.8 units, and we're gonna select on the speeds, and once you do that, it automatically sets V2 158 here in the IS display. Phil, hello my friend. Flew the 767-300ER this afternoon, gets all your attention. Absolutely. Steve, hello my friend. Welcome aboard. Take this to the sky. How are you doing? The sounds are okay. Christian Miron, well, welcome aboard. Alex, hello my friend. Welcome aboard. I hope that you're enjoying your London Heathrow by Inicene. So everything is set up now, folks, and our flight plan is ready. So we can set this here, and we can also close the window. We can set this to VNAV. So we set it on the climb page, and now we are ready to start our pushback and start our engines. All right, so the first thing I need to actually is grab the weather information, and because I am not using anything today for, so I'm not using SimToolkit Pro, I'm going to use my my iPhone app to get the weather information at Hamad International. We can see that 2950. All right, so if we go here and 2950. Perfect. 2950 is set on the captain's side. We're going to come to the first officer side and set it to also 2950. And by the way, you can sync those as an option in the EFB. And there's a ton of options, by the way, to customize the display. So you can the light, the brightness of the light, the reflections, all of that is you are able to manipulate within the iPad. So if you go to options, so from the avionics, you have the EFIS and the ECAS displays can be all set to your preference. You can also go to the effects here, so you can set your reflections, instruments, the reflections for the windows and instruments, the light effects, glare strength, screen glow, CDU glow. You can set these to your liking. You can also add dirt effect. I don't like the dirt effect, so I'm going to leave it as it is. So there's definitely a lot that you can play with and customize it. Again, you have failure scenarios. You can enable, disable. You can add and delete as you wish. And of course, you have the charts, which is the integrated with the Navigraph. So if I type here Oscar Tango Hotel, and there we go. It should bring up all the charts for Doha, new Doha International. There we go. So as you can see now, it's loading, and now I have all the charts. So this is our runway. So this is the departure runway, 16 left. So I simply click here, and now we have all the charts, and you can see the display here as well. So I do like the fact that they have this integration. They've had it, I think, since the 757, but still no SimBrief integration, though. Yeah, but you know, it's a very functional electronic flight bag. I do like the work that they've done. Why does the plane cost 70 euros? Well, we'll talk a lot today about the pricing and honestly what I think. And Wesley, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. The performance is similar to the 777. It is kind of a hybrid aircraft. We'll talk a little more about the pricing once we arrive into Dubai. I'll give you my thoughts. But this aircraft actually is a very, very good aircraft to have. It's a fun aircraft to fly. It is quite complex in terms of the system simulation. I think it's got a really refined and modern electronic flight bag. But we'll take a look at, I'll give you my thoughts on the pricing a little later. All right, we are now ready to go. We're going to head over back to the overhead panel, and we're going to turn on the hydraulic system. You can hear the hydraulics, and everything here looks good. We're going to turn on the electric engine continuous buttons to the on position. We have everything here. We're going to turn these on as well. Those are the generator left and right generators. Everything now is looking good, and we're going to turn on the left and right engine bleeds as well, and we are good to go. So we're going to call the pushback truck and check out of our position. LNAV and VNAV are both armed, and we are good. Let's go ahead and call the pushback truck.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
All right, And that's the sound of my good friend Castrator.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
All right, and maybe we can bring up where, let's see here. We have XATC chatter. And we're going to select Asia, nearest facility. And we're going to select probably approach, ground. There we go. All right, perfect. Right, we're going to set the rejected takeoff. And we're good to start our engines. Perfect.
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
What did he say about the tablet add-on? You mean this one here? So this actually comes with the aircraft, Ivan. All right, we're going to go ahead and kill the brakes. Let's set the trims. Ah. We need to... Alright, let's close all the doors. And remove all. And now we're good.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go. Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Alrighty, now we're good to go. And we're going to come here now and start with the right engine. Set it to ground. We're going to turn off the packs. We're going to watch the engine spool.
5181 Juliet via runway 02.
And we can now start the fuel. There's the engine sounds. Let's take a look. By the way, beacon light should have been on. Alright. I do like the texturing, so they definitely did some work during the past few updates on the textures, and it actually looks pretty good. Yeah, I do like the texturing of this aircraft. There we go. By the way, thank God we don't have this guy. The minute you turn this on,
I have nothing to say.
I'm gonna go ahead and execute the...
I regret to inform you that a chief flight attendant has been killed.
Alright, so he's gone. Alright, we have a good start on the right engine. Let's go ahead and start the left engine. Ground. And we can see the engine spooling now. Oh, looks like I forgot to update the weather. Thank you very much, Rand. Appreciate it, my friend. All right, let's go ahead and give fuel.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Emirates 123 double 360. Emirates 123
Right, power is established to the aircraft now. Perfect. All right. We're going to head over to the overhead panel.
Down here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Right, parking brake is set. And let's
we're
take...
disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
All right. So everything is good here. Let's go ahead and turn on the packs. Packs to auto. APU bleed is off. And we can now turn off the APU. APU is off and everything else is looking good. Parking brake is still set, which is okay. Let's set our flaps. Flaps 5 for departure. 5 is set. Disconnecting the tow.
934.
Right, 160 is set. Perfect.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
What do you guys think? Looks pretty nice, huh? Yeah, just look at those textures. Really very, very nice aircraft by Flight Factor. Again, this is a hybrid between the 777 and the 767. Quite nice aircraft. I do like it. Alright, TARA is set. And let's see, APU gen is off. Yeah, it should be off. Alright, and let's go ahead and set our lights. So the first thing, we're going to turn on the runway turn off lights. And nose gear light is on. Logo lights are on. Flight deck door. I need to check. Let me put this on silent. Sorry guys, that was my mobile. Alright. Alright, so everything is set here. We're ready to go. Flaps are set, trims are set, and we are going to release the parking brake and head over to the runway. Now, again, one thing I've noticed about this aircraft on the ground is that it takes a lot of power to get it to move. But once it moves, it actually is okay. And I'm not sure if this is something to do with the actual aircraft, if this is a bug or if this is realistic behavior. So watch what happens here. So now the parking brake is released, and watch what happens here as we add power. Now that's a lot of power to get the aircraft to move, and it's moving pretty slowly. But once it starts moving a little further, then it kind of goes.
Charlie 105, 30 right news, and QNH 1001. 1001, Charlie 10.
Looks like it's fixed in this version. It's a lot better than the previous version. So the aircraft actually moves quite quickly now. Guys, just look at that wing view. Lovely. Just lovely. And by the way, you can control the intensity of the wing flex as well from the electronic flight bag. So a lot that you can actually do with this electronic flight bag. And the aircraft itself is in fact quite advanced in the simulation of systems. Very nice indeed. Now we're departing Qatar early in the morning, so by the time we reach Dubai, it should be daytime. We should be able to see the TaiModels scenery as we approach Dubai. But I thought it would be also a good idea to take a look at the night lighting inside the cockpit. Right, all's looking good. Carl Childers, welcome aboard, my friend, and thank you for your continued support. Appreciate it. Hey Q8, the 767 has smaller engines, so it will take some time to get started up, but since it's nice and heavy, the momentum will keep it going. I suppose so. I suppose that's a very logical explanation. Alright, so I'm gonna go to XATC chatter, and maybe we can go to departure tower. Nearest facility. Let's go to tower. By the way, you can go and change this manually to the right frequency, and it will play the correct files for that station. All right, we're approaching the runway here, so we're going to turn on the landing lights. White, that's the strobes.
2968, taxi November, hold church, Golf 14, remain this frequency. November, hold church, Golf 14,
And we're getting ready to go. Auto throttle is armed. What a beautiful looking aircraft. It just looks wow. Alright, we're lining up runway 16 left for departure. We've been cleared by ATC.
Runway 16 left.
And we're good to go. Alright. And I have almost full right rudder to steer the aircraft and make it come to the center line. So I am inclined to think there might be something wrong with the ground handling of this aircraft. V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb and gears going up. And the turn is coming up right now. Speed check, flaps 1. Right, and we continue to climb. Nice aircraft to hand fly, the Boeing 767 by Flight Factor. Speed check, flaps up. Autopilot 1 is engaged. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are climbing to our final cruise altitude of 27,000 feet. Beautiful departure out of Doha, Qatar. Early morning here, and we should be arriving into our destination within an hour or so. Increase the range there. And we are looking good. Dari90, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. And we have also Mark Pierce, welcome aboard. Is that better than the 777 or worse? If you mean by flight factor, if you are comparing, this is of course a much more advanced aircraft than the, I think we can leave that. So this is more advanced than the 777 by flight factor. We can turn off all the lights here. Those will leave for now. Why are those not? It's on auto. Okay. All right. So here's the thing, folks. If you were here's my thinking around the pricing of this aircraft. The aircraft, if you haven't bought any Flight Factor 767 prior to this, I think this aircraft is well worth its price. I think the price range is aligned with add-ons that are of this fidelity. The system simulation on this aircraft is quite complex, and it's jam-packed with features, and I do appreciate the work that Flight Factor has done on this aircraft. Now, if you have purchased one of the aircraft, so maybe you have the 767-200, or you've purchased the 300, so you can purchase them separately. You can either buy the professional or the extended. So if you've purchased the professional, I think that the upgrade fee should be anywhere. So maybe the $20 would be would be okay. 20 to 30 is still, in my view, is pushing it a little bit. But $20 to $30 seems to be a reasonable price if you've purchased only one of the previous aircraft. But here's the thing: if you have invested in the extended version of the aircraft, so if you've paid close to $100, then I think that the upgrade fee to this aircraft should be no more than $10 to $15 tops. This is my honest opinion and evaluation of the pricing around this aircraft. There's, by the way, nothing wrong with this aircraft other than the fact that it's still beta, so there are issues. They're still being fixed. And the aircraft is receiving constant updates, but it is a very advanced airliner as far as xplane 11 is concerned. The sound pack, in my view, needs a lot of work, the sounds on this aircraft are not worthy of its price, I will say that, and probably a comparable aircraft that is very high fidelity with a lousy sound set is the tallest A340. So, in all honesty, when I pay $70 for an add-on, I expect superb sounds. I expect fully immersive sounds. There is no need for a sound set, be as a sound pack or anything like that. I shouldn't have to even download any freeware. It should just come with a proper sound pack that is fully immersive. Now, if I look at the history of Flight Factor aircraft, all of the fleet they have pretty much the same sounds: the knobs, the switches, and this funny, passenger announcements that comes from this guy that you need to execute with every flight, so that he stops annoying you. I can say that this is something they really need to invest in. The sound department is hugely important. It is one of the most important things that, in my opinion, makes or breaks the add-on. Absolutely imperative to have proper sound sets for these aircraft. And by the way, they don't have to be recorded from the real aircraft, but they have to be believable. They have to be convincing. Whereas the switches here on this aircraft, the sounds are terrible. The sounds of the engines are okay. I think they're mediocre. Again, they're not great. And as I've said, I am not looking for something that is recorded from a real aircraft, but please make it believable. And I think, for example, if you look at the Arabesque aircraft, I think they have a very talented sound producer, if you will, and the sounds on the the F-mod sounds are actually very, very good. They are very convincing sounds. Not so much on the Flight Factor range of aircraft, with the exception of their A320, which, by the way, has just received an update recently, and I am planning to stream it very soon. And maybe we'll do it online on VATSIM or IVAO. I'll decide later on. But first, before that, there is the 60K video special that is coming very soon. I'm working on some nice intros and some stats for you guys. And MC Crewfish, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Badger, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Gulshan Kumar, welcome aboard, my friend. This aircraft is the last stop for the 777 version 2. Absolutely, absolutely. I think, Carl, there's a brand new 777 version 2 coming for X-plane. I'm not sure if it's 12 or 11, but why hasn't the aircraft climbed yet? It looks like it's climbing now. All right. By the way, the LNAV and VNAV, for the most part, they work as they should on this aircraft. So the aircraft, the management of the aircraft speed and altitude is pretty spot on. There was a restriction here at 7,000, and now we're continuing our climb to 27,000. As you can see, as soon as we hit 27,000, it's the top of descent. So we're gonna. It's a pretty short flight. I like those short flights. How long to Dubai? Well, from this point forward, it's probably another 30 minutes or so. Oh, Rand, thank you very much, my friend. I didn't know you hit the 60K. Congrats, my friend. Along was from 500. Yeah, I remember those days. They have made a few updates, and it is better since then. Yes, without a doubt, Carl. See, I like the fact that they yeah, all right, 10,000 feet, so we can kill the lights. I like the fact that they stand behind their aircraft and they continuously update them. Although I'm not a big fan of, you know, releasing betas that are not ready. Because it can really sometimes with the flight sim. You see, guys, one thing I learned about the flight sim community is that it is very harsh. It is extremely unforgiving community, and both to developers and to content creators. When you release something in beta, it might not represent the aircraft in its final state or what the developer had intended initially to release to the public. And that can come up with, it can just kill the product completely. It can kill the add-on, bring it to its knees in its infancy. And I'm personally not sure that this is a very good strategy. But I think if you reach an RC version, a release candidate version, then I think that might be a better strategy, moving to like a production or to public release, than to release something in beta where it's still there's a lot of bugs, and people may invest a lot of money in in the add-on, and only to be disappointed that there are certain issues because this is a beta, and every time you complain about something, you get a response that, well, yeah, it's a beta. That is very frustrating, and the community is very unforgiving when it comes to that. See, one of the companies that I think was successful in doing this is Fly Simware, who released the Cessna Chancellor. They said that this is a beta, and then they actually selling it. It's still in beta, 2.6.5 or 4, something like that. Still in beta, but they made it as an introductory price. So, don't charge the full price of the add-on if it's still in beta. And that's my note to the developers out there. Now, back to our flight. We are at 17,000. We can set the barrel reference to standard on both sides. And just a quick note on what's upcoming in my 60K video special. I'm working on some nice, stats for you guys. So I'm trying to make it as creative as possible. I'm going to be announcing, of course, a word of thanks to all of those who've been an inspiration to me, and thank also my partners. And in case you haven't done so, please do visit my the Kuwait Pilot official partners, I&I Builds. If you are looking for MSFS or xplane add-ons, be sure to check out their store. They have some excellent add-ons, and of course, I&I Builds is a very well-known, recognized name in the flight sim industry. They also have a division of the company I&I Scene, which now creates excellent scenery. Speaking of that, we've seen in the last stream I&I Scene London Heathrow version 2, an excellent rendition of London Heathrow, but they are also the makers of the excellent fleet of Airbuses for xplane 11. One of the best airliners for xplane 11 are the I&I Builds A300 and A310, and of course not to forget the Beluga. And the A310 is coming to MSFS very soon in November, and I'm quite excited about that without a doubt. So please do check them out when you can. I'm also going to be announcing the giveaway in the 60K special, and the giveaway is going to comprise of the Thrustmaster Boeing Boeing gear. So it's going to be the Boeing pack, the Thrustmaster pack, plus other things that I will keep for the video. Also, what's going to be announced during that video is a competition that is going to allow the community members. I'm not going to say what the competition is now, we'll leave it for the video, but the competition is going to allow community members to participate in an activity that has a total dollar prize of about $1,000 in total. So it's going to be a large giveaway, guys, very close to $2,000 in giveaways, both hardware, software, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, in the upcoming video, I will be announcing our first ever group flight, which is probably going to be the Saturday after next. That is when we're going to be streaming the live event. Of course, the departure and destination of our first group flight has been selected by you guys, the community members, the channel members. You guys have selected those, so I'm quite excited to do it. And stating something wrong is not bad, but I have seen people say stuff that is beyond rude and uncalled for. I totally agree with you there. Made some hardware since mine broke 2 months ago. Well, 850 boss, maybe, just maybe, you'll be a winner on the Kuwait Pilot channel, and you'll be able to win the Thrustmaster Boeing pack, which is great. Yeah. So lots and lots coming to the channel. In that video, I'm going to be announcing those, and the competition is something I hope that you guys can enjoy. Especially those of you who's got, you know, some sort of skills. Alright, so we are now close to top of descent, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to the initial reference here, and I'm going to select 30 flaps 30 and speed. We're going to add 5 knots to the speed, so we're going to do 30, and speed is 148. Enter that here. That's all good. We are ready there, and we're going to reset the MCP altitude. Now, if you look at your flight plan and you go to the last waypoint here, you see 3,000, and now you know that the platform altitude is 3,000 feet. So we are going to reset the MCP. If we look here, we're pretty close actually to top of descent. If I go to VNAV, 18 nautical miles for top of descent. As you can see now, we have the message here, reset MCP altitude. So we're going to go ahead and reset the altitude to 3,000 feet, which is the initial approach altitude, or platform altitude as it is called in the UK. And we are now good to go. Altitude is set, and we can now, we'll begin our descent momentarily to Dubai. I do like the texturing quite a bit here. Yeah, here's a wing view for you guys, an engine view, And I'm not sure about the animation of the engine there. It's kind of look a bit funny, but nonetheless, I mean this is not what the engine looks like when it's running. It looks like more an office fan or something. But yeah, overall, it's alright in terms of the texturing. I think it's not bad, especially the 3D cockpit. I do like the 3D cockpit a lot. But there are definitely certain areas of the aircraft that require some work, and that includes the textures of the engines. The engine texturing is not the best in my view, and for an add-on that costs this much, I expect better textures. But again, it's beta, right? So things could change. But this is, I mean, if we look here, this is pretty much what you see in almost all Flight Factor aircraft. I don't like the fact that there are jagged lines here. You can see, so the end right there. So that definitely the texturing could use some work overall. So there are a lot of spots, but the 3D cockpit I think looks very good. The overhead panel is probably the best modeled and textured area in this aircraft, and I do like this. The panel here, the 3D cockpit, which is very 777-like in the way it looks, and maybe functions as well. Excellent. Sebastian, welcome aboard to the Kuwait Pilot channel, and we have, can't say your name, something Black Russia. Welcome aboard, my friend. Turkish Airlines, Wingfly, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. And we have also Phil, xplane, welcome aboard, my friend. El Teso, welcome aboard. So it's better to wait for the 777 version 2 or until they finish it. Well, by the way, we have begun the descent now towards Dubai International. We've hit the top of descent. So LNAV, VNAV work in exactly as they should. And we are looking good. I'm going to set this to 120 knots, which is the... There we go, 120. So, I mean, it's your call, really. I'm sure these all these aircraft will eventually become compatible with xplane 12. Now, if you backtrack in the stream, I've already said I've spoke my 2 cents on the pricing and what I think the pricing should be for this aircraft and what are the upgrade fees. But of course, I'm not the developer. I don't understand probably how much overhead there is for the developers, and what kind of situation they have to deal with, especially when just about everybody is very reluctant to make any investments in xplane add-ons. By the way, I purchased recently the Thronda Cessna Caravan, and the aircraft has received an update recently. I've started up this earlier this afternoon, and I actually am thinking that it's not bad. And maybe if you guys are interested, I'll do a full review of it. I'm not very sure that... See, I started to become a little more critical of add-ons, simply because there is a lot more now to compare the add-ons to. So when I first started, I used to get really excited, and of course I develop as well with time, guys. So I learn a lot more, and I develop and I grow, and I learn more about add-ons. And during the course of the last year, we've seen some extremely high fidelity add-ons, such as for example, the Challenger 650 by Hotstar, which is, by the way, the best add-on for flight simulation, period. And we've seen a lot more. We've seen the Phoenix, we've seen many aircraft, but there is also the Torque Sim range of aircraft, general aviation, the Airfoil Labs, Cessna 172, NG, the King Air. So we've seen a lot of very high quality add-ons, and so the bar has been set higher. So now when I actually am reviewing the add-ons, I'm becoming a little more critical. And the reason I'm becoming critical is not because I have something against the developers, no, but because the standard is now set higher. So I expect better. And there are developers who have pretty much stayed monotone. You know, they plateaued in terms of bringing innovation and bringing new things to their add-ons. There are still good add-ons, but you know, if I compare it to, for example, the Phoenix, and this aircraft cost almost as much as the Phoenix and the PMDG, so it's got to be, if not better, at least of the same caliber, same quality in terms of the sounds, in terms of the textures, in terms of the fidelity is there without a doubt. So this aircraft has a good base, there's no doubt about that. But then the sounds are lacking, textures in some areas are lacking, though I think it is priced reasonably well. If it's your first purchase of the 767, then I think yes, it's worth the price. And if it's not your first purchase, so if you purchased any other variant, then I don't feel that you should pay more than $20. If you have the extended pack, I don't think that you should pay anything more than $15. Those are my thoughts and my honest opinion. Right, we continue our descent now towards Dubai International. Carol, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you as a subscriber here of the QA Pilot channel. And mostly in big ones, going to be XP12 compatible. Those updates cost money as well, and they do not charge. I hope they don't charge. They better not. And yeah, this aircraft is optimized for performance without a doubt, so we get good FPS. I'm not sure what we're getting now, but if we go here, no, we don't get it here. We get it on the Avitab here. So we were getting about 60 FPS, which is pretty good. And you get about 40 or something like that on the ground, so it's okay. All right, we're getting, we're descending now towards Dubai International, and once we arrive, we're going to take a look at the new rendition of Dubai International by TaiModels. You know, I think it's a treat for us to take a look at, and yeah. Now the airport was provided to me courtesy of the developer himself, so he wanted me to take a look at it and help showcase it here on the channel. But of course, as you all know, that does not stop me from saying anything about the scenery. I will speak the honest truth as far as quality is concerned, because again, I know that a lot of you consider me as their reference before purchasing add-ons, and so I carry that responsibility of telling you exactly what I think and whether the scenery is worth it or not. We're going to take a look at that once we land at Dubai International. I'm going to check the weather information very quickly here at Dubai. And if we look at the weather, so there is light rain, it says in Dubai, which is very strange. Clouds, a few at 4,000 feet AGL, visibility 10 kilometers, and temperature is 28 Celsius. And that's very strange. There's rain, and I can still see there is a headwind of about 7 knots and crosswind of 2 knots from the left, runway 12 left, where we are going to arrive into Dubai. Alright, we'll see about that. Alright, so all is good. TFK's Linux Gaming, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Tom, I get worse FPS in cruise. Really? That's strange. Alright, so this is going to be our arrival to Dubai, and this is the funny approach into Dubai where the aircraft, after VOTIP, the aircraft begins to descend and makes this really funny turn. And by the way, the aircraft do fly this in real life. And I think what this does, it gives controllers time, because Dubai International is considered one of the busiest airports in the region, and I think it gives them time to organize the arrivals and departures out of the airport. So it gives them time to It gives the aircraft, the pilots time to descend, but I think it also gives the controllers time to organize the traffic in and out of the airport. Here's a look at the outside, and by the way, this is a fictitious livery of the 767. Qatar Airways does not own a 767-400ER, but you know, that's I like the livery. I like the Qatar Airways livery. I think it looks really nice, and the that's the national sign. The oryx is the national sign in Qatar, and by the way, in the Emirates as well. And if you decide to go on the we are approaching 13,000. They have some really nice tours where they take you to one of the reserves in the United Arab Emirates in Dubai, and you can actually see the oryx and you can see camels. It's a lovely tour that you can take into the reserve. 2953. All right, and we're going to come here, set this to 2953. Alright, 2953 is set, and we're going to do the same here. 2953. 2953 is set. FMC message, drag is required. Alright. Let's go ahead and extend the speed brakes. Just gonna, as you can see here, there's an FMC message that says drag required. Perfect. Matteo, hello my friend, welcome aboard, glad to have you with us. Alright, so all is set now, and we are looking good. Let's go ahead and do a flyby. I still like xplane, tell you guys. I still like even the lousy class that it has. You know, it's still something I like. I love flying in xplane. I don't know how many of you were... we did a flight in the Q4XP, Fly Jason Q4XP, and the landing was... I can't recall where did we land, but it was 25 knot crosswind landing. And it was just one of the most challenging landings I've done over the past 6 years. We've done well. We arrived safely, but it was just an incredible flight into in xplane. It looked in the replay. It definitely looked like the real thing. Unfortunately, I lost that stream. We've had a lot of issues with the internet connectivity during that stream. And I had to turn on and off the broadcasting software, and that has caused, of course, the stream to be overwritten by the only last few minutes of the stream. But it was a wonderful landing, very challenging, and a lot of fun. All right, we're approaching 10,000 feet. Mubin, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Kevin Thomas, welcome aboard, my friend. Hi, Q8. Sorry if you've answered this, but is there a reason the banner on top says B738, not B764? So I think the Fly Studio is unable to detect this variant, so it thinks that it's a 738. You can manually go and change this, but I couldn't really bother, to be honest. So I just left it. It automatically detects the aircraft type that you're flying. But unfortunately, it looks like the 7.6 profile is not defined, and so it displays the wrong you know, aircraft type. XB-72 landed in a 142 knot crosswind. Was a Phoenix bug. He landed first try. Wow. By the way, XB-72 is an excellent streamer, and he's a great fella. So a very kind-hearted man. Very kind-hearted. Him and I'm Blue Games both are very fine people, and I highly recommend their channels. So yeah, they're fine gentlemen. Legend sees, does someone know if X-Plane 12 will also have a 3D airflow atmosphere model like MSFS? I mean, these little bumps and shaking of the ailerons, etc. I have no clue. I don't know. We only hope that it will, you know, meet everyone's expectation. Alright, we are below 10,000 feet. We're going to turn on the landing lights, and we're going to turn on the turn-off lights as well. Why not? And everything there is looking good. We're going to set the auto brakes to 2 is fine. And we're going to also arm the speed brakes. And we are good. We continue now our descent. As you can see, we're going to do this turn and come back to land at Dubai here. You can see this better now. So it's the turn this way and then back to the airport. And we're going to land runway 12 left at Dubai International. Everything is set. We're looking good. And I think there is a restriction, so we need to be below 7,000 by Delta Bravo 427. And then we need to maintain 7,000. Then we need to be below 6,000 at Delta Bravo 421. And then 6,000 all the way to Delta Bravo 413, and then through the Rurik transition we need to be at 3,000, above 3,000, maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer for our arrival runway. Perfect. Right, we're approaching Dubai, and it looks like the weather is cloudy, which is really strange. I mean, this time of the year we don't normally get any rain in the Gulf region, in the entire Persian Gulf continuum. We don't get any rain. Maybe in Saudi Arabia, in the southern part of Saudi Arabia, there is an area called Abha, and Abha is actually, even during the summer when it's torching hot in the northern part of Saudi Arabia, the southern part remains actually pretty cool, and the area is characterized by a mountainous terrain. And it gets a lot of cool air from the Yemeni side as well. So, so in Abha, I can understand, you know, that we get rain. But in Dubai, I think they have a technology to inject rain, and that's what they normally do. I'm not sure if that's what they're doing now, or if this natural. My hunch is that they are, you know, they're probably injecting the rain there. Gagan, hello my friend, welcome aboard. DB Vetter, welcome aboard my friend. I'll never stop X-Plane when flying for 15 years. I have the A340 Fly JSIM-8 MD-11. Good for you, man. And I will probably never stop X-Plane either. Boeing Corp, welcome aboard. We have you with us from Logan, New Jersey. Glad to have you with us just in time for the landing. And hopefully we'll do a butter one today for you guys so that you can enjoy, you know, the... oh, what do we have here? Drag required. Alright, so now it wants us to reduce speed. I don't think we need to extend the brakes here. I think we're good. We're just going to clear that. This is one drag. I think the aircraft will descend to the required altitude and speed. So far it's been doing very well in terms of managing the altitude and speed. So I think we're good there. Also, I thought Qatar Airport is in Doha. It is definitely in Doha, yeah? Yeah, that's exactly where it is. That was our departure today. We departed out of New Hamad International Airport in the Qatari capital. I've been to Qatar one time only, many years ago. I should probably go and take a look at their airport. Is fantastic. Voted one of the best airports in the world. I think it's in the list of the top 5 airports in the world. Hamad International. And there is, by the way, with TaiModel Airport, there is orthos that comes with the airport. Well, we'll take a look at both the airport and the surrounding vicinity. I think there is the Khalifa Tower as well as Burj Al Arab have been modeled in the TaiModel scenery of Dubai. And we're going to take a look, of course, at that once we land. I'll give you my honest opinion about the scenery. And we are now descending through 6,000 or 3,000. All's looking good. And in my next stream, I'm looking to do a flight in the Middle East. So we will more than likely do a flight either to or out of Tel Aviv. And I'll pick a destination. They've got a really nice airport. If we look at the outside here, just guys, look at that. I mean, this is the rendition. This is the orthos, and this is the Dubai International Airport. What a fantastic looking scene. You can see Burj Khalifa there. You can see the light, the beacon light for Burj Khalifa right there far in the distance. Burj Al Arab is somewhere right there. We can't see it. We're a bit too far. We are, as you can see, on the glide slope now, and the localizer is actually captured. We're slightly too high, but that's fine. I guess we're right on the dot now, as you can see here. So this diamond, when is your guide as to whether you're too high or too low. And then, of course, once you are established on the localizer, then you have the glide slope and localizer needles to manage your descent rate, as well as lateral movement of the aircraft, and make sure that you are on the localizer. Are you from the Middle East? You pronounce this stuff perfectly. I am a Kuwaiti national, a thrifty boss. So yeah, I can definitely pronounce those properly. Please fly to the Iran Tehran airport. Sure, Mobin, no worries at all. I actually did purchase the Imam Khomeini airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator, so probably we'll do a flight there. And I have a special livery that I'm going to fly for that flight. Yeah, why not? Tim OL, Diamond is the profile for VNAV, not runway glide slope. Oh, no. Not this one. So this one is, you are correct, but this, I'm talking about this one. This diamond here is for the glide slope. Yeah. And normally when this starts moving, you see GS showing here, glide slope is active. And this is how it, you manage your altitude relative to, the glide slope. If, of course, it's a 3-degree glide slope. All right. Let's remove that. Remove that. That is correct. Yes, I lived in the States for 10 years. Absolutely. It was the best time of my life, I might add, in the States. And if the time takes me back, I will do it all over again. Absolutely. I'm actually invited by one of the partners that we work with at work to attend a conference in San Francisco in September. I just am not sure that I will be able to do that because September, it's around my birthday, and I do want to spend my birthday with the family. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's take a look here. All right, so we're good there. All right, speed check, laps 1. Right, we can see the localizer is... Alright, so we lost the localizer there. We should capture it once we make the turn back to the airport. We continue to descent. And speed check, flaps 5. Right, flaps 5 is set. Here you can see there. Perfect. We're looking good. Here's our turn. There you guys can see better here what's going on. Ali Isam, are you using Bing Map for orthos? This actually, the orthos featured in this scenery of Dubai is part of the package that comes with the TaiModels Dubai International. So I'm not sure what they are using, but normally when I use my orthos, I use Google Maps. So I use the Google ortho photos. I just think they're better than Bing Maps. And the same, I do the same for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Ilya, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us on stream. Will and I builds have a discounted ID. I own the XP11 A300 and want for MSFS when available. Well, I'm not sure about the A300, but the A310 is going to be a free aircraft in MSFS when it comes out. It's part of the 40th anniversary in November for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it's going to be free of charge. All right. So we are now, we look here, 5.2, and then we need to be at 3,000 at the Raric transition. So we are looking good, and we can engage the approach button momentarily. If I increase the speed here a bit. Yeah, all right. So let's go ahead and go approach. Approach still doesn't activate. That's a thing in the Flight Factor. You have to be very close to the airport in order to engage the approach. So we'll give it a little more time. I think maybe right about here is where you see this dotted line. That's probably the range of the broadcast of the ILS frequency, radio frequency, and that's probably when we can engage the approach button. We continue the descent though. So we are looking good, and I can see Burj Khalifa right ahead of us right there. Did Flight Factor do auto-tune for the ILS frequency? Yes, it is auto-tuned. So if you go here and we go to the nav radio, you can see the ILS frequency is auto-tuned, 109.5. So this aircraft is a little more advanced than the 767-300 variant, where you have to enter it, in the 757 where you have to grab it from the nav radio and enter it in the nav radio here, somewhere here, right here, but not on this one here. It auto selects the ILS frequency for you, which is cool. ATC is in op, that's VNAV. Alright, so if we look here just as a landing checklist, we have the landing lights all turned on. The auto brake is set to 2. The flaps are currently flaps 5. And you can see the localizer needle now. So maybe if we click approach, now we can intercept the localizer. So now the aircraft will do its thing. We can see the glide slope needle, the localizer needle, and we're going to maintain the current speed and altitude until we are approximately, at the center here. So when this diamond moves to this dot here, we will lower the landing gear and start reducing our speed and extend flaps for landing. Doesn't look like we can clear the message. Ah, there we go. We can see the glide slope and the localizer are both active now. Very surprising to get this weather in Dubai in this time of the year, but nonetheless. By the way, can you hide this? I think you can hide the oak from the EFB. All right, we're looking good. And now we can see the glide slope needle moving. And we are almost at our approach altitude of 3,000. I'm going to start reducing our speed. 148 is the final speed. So I'm going to just say 170 for now. There's 3,000. Perfect. And now you can see the needle here. Now we're going to go to gear down. Here's the gear down. And flaps. And let's reduce our speed to 160 knots. Beautiful approach into Dubai International Airport. We are looking good. And we're going to reduce our speed to 150 knots. Hello, Dubai International. Speed check, flaps 25. And our final speed today is 148. Speed check, flaps 30. We are clear to land. We have the runway in sight. All right. At 1,000 feet, we will disconnect the autopilot and auto throttle.
$1,000.
1,000 feet and autopilot disconnected. My aircraft, auto throttle disconnected. And I can definitely feel the crosswind there.
Approaching. 1, 2, right. $500.
Flight slope. Flight slope.
Flight slow.
Minimum.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
One hundred. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Reversers, welcome to Dubai International Airport. knots, manual braking. Alright, now there's a problem with this aircraft. Once we land, there is something wrong with the nose wheel, and I'm not sure what to do about it, but you have to use the toe brake to steer the aircraft for some reason. And I'm not sure if it's something to do with the scenery or, but look at those ground markings there. Very sharp and crisp. Nice taxiways of the TaiModel rendition of Dubai International. Actually, this is probably the best rendition of Dubai International I have seen for xplane. There has been several attempts to do a Dubai airport. This one, in my view, is probably the most successful of them all. So let's retract our flaps. Right, flaps are retracted. And track the speed brake as well. Just look at that, very nice. And all the buildings have been properly modeled for the airport with the proper markings on. You can see here Emirates. I believe this is maybe this is the cargo terminal, but that's all right. We're just going to go ahead over there, park the aircraft, and then we'll take a look at at the rest of the airport. But first, of course, we're going to take a look at the replay of the landing. What do you rate this develop? Which one is it? TaiModel or TaiModel or Flight Factor? Hey, Steve, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you. That's the main terminal there of the airport. We'll take a closer look now once we are parked. But just look at all the details here, the taxiways. I mean, this developer spent some time really on the taxiways here. I love the details on the taxiways here, the signage, airport signage, and all the buildings have been modeled properly. I can't wait to see this airport in xplane 12. To be completely honest with you guys. Yeah, we're just going to bring the aircraft to a complete stop right here. You can see the branding of Emirates as it is in the real airport. That was definitely a fun flight. From Qatar to Dubai. Alright, parking brake set, and first thing, let's go ahead and take a look at the replay of our landing. There we go. Let's play it there, and let's take a look. Just look at that, ladies and gentlemen, as we come into land. And just a beautiful sight of the aircraft. We'll do a few replays there with wing views and things like that, but I just absolutely love the plane spotting in X-plane. It's just, it looks so realistic on approach. Very, very nice. It's been very quiet in the last months about X-plane 12. Well, we've just had so many videos. The interview with Austin Myers, the owner of Laminar Research. There has been excellent interviews. Just look at that, ladies and gentlemen. And here is Qatar Airways 767-400 landing at Dubai International. Beautiful sight. Woo, beautiful. Just beautiful. All right. Let's see here. Maybe we'll bring it a bit closer. And this gives you also a better look at the airport. Emirates Sky Cargo, that's the main terminal there. And you can see Burj Khalifa in the distance. The Dubai Tower. Beautiful. Just look at the textures there of the main terminal there. A very nice rendition of Dubai International or X-plane 11. And there's our aircraft. Beautiful. Looks like, by the way, it is raining in Dubai. When will the next flight be, or was? I'm not sure I follow you there. Alright, let's do one more replay. And this time maybe we'll do it... this time we'll do a wing view. There we go. Is it this side? This side is nicer because it overlooks the Burj Khalifa. Just absolutely stunning views of Dubai. And I think, you know what, guys, I still think this looks pretty good. I mean, it's definitely not Microsoft Flight Simulator, so it's definitely not as nice or as convincing. But I think it still looks pretty good, and just I can't help but to love the movement of the aircraft and how it's just how the air acts on the aircraft. It's just so realistic, especially on approach. It looks fantastic, and now we can see some of the buildings here at Dubai. I know I've seen this approach so many times in real life. I've landed so many times at Dubai, and this looks quite good, I must say. All right, here we go. Lovely. Well, there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. All right, let me take a quick look at just the airport. So I am going to, let's see here. What I'd like to show you is actually those buildings. And as you come closer, just look at the details of the textures here. And this is, by the way, exactly what you see at Dubai International. If you've ever been to the airport in real life, this is exactly what you'd see in terms of the textures from the outside as the aircraft come to land, beg your pardon, come to park at the gate. On the other side, you can see all the cargo buildings have been modeled. This is where we park our aircraft. Let me just go to free mode here. As you can see those nice cargo buildings. Now, I'll say one thing. While the buildings look great, I think they can be a little better. Although I do like what they've done here in terms of, you know, looking kind of used, or looking a bit, there's a bit of dirt or maybe smoke on the rooftops. I feel they could have done a little bit better in terms of the texturing of those buildings to make them a little more convincing. What I do like is the accurate taxi signs, and the aircraft positions have all been carefully modeled here. All the buildings are there, so there aren't any missing buildings in the scenery. This is all the buildings that you'll find at Dubai International. All the parking positions have been also modeled. You can see here all the proper buildings with the proper, so this is actually the DHL FedEx buildings, and this is something you will see in at Dubai International if you've ever been to the airport. Everything again from the administration buildings. Again, this is in terms of the use of custom buildings. So custom texturing, it could have used a little better. So these look like, I mean, they are good. It's good. It's probably, my overall assessment of the airport is that it is, in fact, the best rendition of Dubai International for xplane 11. That said, the implementation itself, or the rendering of this, you know, this is again very, very accurate. And the sky cargo building, this is also quite accurate there. You know, so everything is in the right place in terms of the placement of the buildings. I think this is superb. In terms of the actual quality of the models, I think they are very good, but they're not excellent. They could be improved in my view, especially here if you see the connector, the jetway with the actual building here. That does not look very realistic in my view. It's not very well done. It's acceptable, but not very well done in my view. Looks a bit strange. The texturing of the buildings are quite nice, but not excellent. But I do love the main terminal. I do like the main terminal a lot, and this is probably what matters. And I think the jetways here look better than the previous jetways on that side. So those here are better than the ones there. The way they connect to the building here is done better, I think. Maybe because of the additional, you know, part here that makes it a little more realistic. Overall, the texturing is not bad, but not excellent. The rendition of the airport as a whole is pretty good. It is, in my view, somewhere between a 7 and an 8, maybe a 7.5 out of 10 for the scenery. But if you like flying in this part of the world, this rendition by TaiModels is one that I do recommend, without a doubt, with a final score of about 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, I do like those. I do like the texturing here, definitely. And you can see it here as well. There you see. By the way, the interior isn't modeled. So there's an attempt to model some things inside, but not much. Maybe we can just go in for fun and just take a look here. So yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, this is not what the airport looks like in real life, but you know, there is a little bit of an interior there. But this looks very good from the outside. It just looks really good. I absolutely love Dubai Airport. You can see all the positions here again. proper placement of all the taxiways and the aircraft positions for extra realism. And yeah, so that's Dubai International by TaiModels. All right, looks like our aircraft's still running. Something going on with the sounds there. And there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, this pretty much brings us to the conclusion of this live stream. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. And until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. And bye-bye for now.